Thank you.
Thank you.
Lion. Thank you. We love her and we are not lying. We're cat people and we're not cheetahs either. We don't cheat. No cheating. All right. So I'm Seth and this is Daisy. And Daisy thought it would be a good idea if I took a shot at the patriarchy while I'm here. You ready? I'm taking a shot at the patriarchy. All right, my stepdad was a kind of a hippie guy. And one time he was doing acid and he said, you know what, I'm going to rewrite the Bible. I thought that's quite a task, rewriting the Bible, right? So I thought one time, you know what, I'm going to rewrite the Bible. And I was going to start at Revelations with the scary stuff first, you know. And then I thought, you know, I don't want to scare the hell out of everybody. So I'm going to start with the beginning, the way it really started. In the beginning, it was very, very dark. It was so dark that people who hadn't been created yet kept hitting their shins on dining room tables that hadn't been invented yet. It was very dark. So eventually, you know, somebody decided, you know, we're going to kill ourselves in here. It's starting to smell like pee because nobody can find the latrine. So let's do something. So Goddess, that's right, Goddess. I know this is a new concept for some people here, but not most of you because you're all goddesses. I want to just go ahead and get that out of the way. Thank you for being the wonderful goddesses you are. But the original goddess decided to birth the universe. So for you science buffs out there, it wasn't a big bang. It was a big push. And the universe was created. Now Goddess, she got a little bored because, you know, just sticking around birthing the universe all that time, it takes a lot out of you. So she just wanted to see what she had birthed. So she started, flying through the universe, right, Daisy?
Yeah.
She was flying through the universe, and she saw this green and blue-looking marble. She thought, what is that? So she kind of zipped on down, and she saw this beautiful planet, and she thought, there's nothing here. So she created everything that was on the earth. Everything, all the birds, animals, and fishes, in one quick open of her legs. And boom, everything was birthed on the planet. And then she was looking at everything, and she thought everything's really wonderful, but I really don't have time to stick around and name everything. So she grabbed up a scoop of the earth, and she created Lilith. The first woman on planet Earth. Everybody who thought it was Adam, you're wrong. The patriarchy has misled you. Okay, the guy in the church, he didn't know what he was talking about. He was just reading from a book. It was edited by other guys who didn't know what was going on. Nobody even knew about Goddess, except for all the horrible people that had trampled on Goddess statues and Goddess altars all over this planet. Way back then they knew about Goddess. Now we kind of, we're coming back to our understanding of Goddess. So anyhow, so she created Lilith, and she said, Lilith, I really appreciate you taking on this big task. I need you to name everything on the planet. And Lilith was like, okay, no problem. I'll take care of it. So Goddess left for 2 weeks, which is about a millennia in Lilith time. And when she got back, Lilith was sitting next to a tree, and she looked very upset. She said, Lilith, what's the problem? She said, well, I named all the animals on the planet, and I named all the birds flying above, and I will get to the fish, I promise you. But I got a little problem here. And she goes, what's the problem, Lilith? And Lilith said, you gave me 2 legs. You gave me 2 arms. You gave me 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, 2 everything. Everything's paired up real nicely. What is up with the 3rd breast? So Goddess said, what, you don't like it? She's like, well, it's fighting for room with the other 2, and it's just so awkward. And I was going to go swimming and start naming the fish, but it just keeps getting in the way. Plus, it makes me a little too buoyant. So Goddess said, that's no problem. I can take care of that. And she reached down, and she grabbed the 3rd breast, and she pulled it off, and she threw it in the bush. That's where the bush part comes in, by the way. For those of you that are wondering about the bush part. So Goddess said, this is great. And Lilith is like, yes, it is. It's great. It's really good. It's like I can move, and everybody's good. Both of them can move around really good. This is fantastic. I'm great. Thank you. I'll go start swimming and finding all those fish and naming them for you. So Goddess left for another 2 weeks, which, another millennium went by. And she came back, and Lilith was sitting there next to that tree again, looking all depressed. And Goddess is like, what is your problem, Lilith? I took that 3rd boob from me. Everything's fine now, right? She goes, no, it's not fine. You leave for 2 weeks, but it feels like forever. And there's nobody to talk to. None of these animals know how to speak like we speak. And so Goddess said, well, I can fix that. She says, yeah, you can? And she's like, yeah, check it out. I can make another one of you. And she's like, well, that sounds fantastic. She goes, or I can do the stick model. Would you like a stick model? She's like, what's the difference? Well, the stick model can help you make others of you. And then you can multiply like the fish and the birds and everything else. And Lilith said, that would be great, I guess. I'll try the stick model. So Goddess reached into the bush and pulled out the boob and created Adam. Okay? Now, I could prove this scientifically because women are XX and men are XY. We're the mutant. We are the mutated version of a woman. And I don't know how many times I've been called a boob, but there might be something there. So, needless to say, she created Adam, and there was Adam, and everything's going to be great, right? Everything's going to be fantastic. So, Goddess left. Lilith was left with Adam, her boob. And it was getting about time to create those extra people, right? That they were talking about, that Goddess told her. And she said, well, I'm going to get on top. And Adam said, no, I'm on top. And Lilith was like, wait, you're my boob, you do what I tell you, I'm on top. And the argument continued back and forth, who was going to be on top. And Adam would just not relent. So finally Lilith said, that's enough. And she called to Goddess, Goddess, please come, I need help with this stick model. So Goddess got there and she told him, she said, you know, Adam, and Goddess explained, listen, I am Goddess, I created her, and then we created you from her boob, so you do what she tells you. And Adam, he was a bit of a stickler for detail. Well, I got a stick. And it doesn't matter. You can't beat people up with that stick. It's just a stick. You are going to do what Lilith says. And they continued. And finally, Goddess says, I've had enough. And she created God. And she said, you deal with this guy. So God was invented. And now God's like, hey, listen, Adam, you know, God has created me. You're a piece of Lilith. You should do what Lilith says. I mean, it'll be a lot better for you. And you know, just do what she said. Would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? And Adam said, I want to be right. So needless to say, God said, Lilith, I don't know what to do with this guy. He just won't listen. I tell you what, I'm going to bestow you with all the power of Goddess herself. Everything that Goddess can do, now you can do. And Lilith was like, wait a sec, I'm a divine human being. I am Goddess and human. You're trying to take away half of me. And God said, you know, I'm sorry, but it just seems like we can't come to any kind of agreement here. And we need to populate the earth with humans. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to make you a goddess. And he made her a goddess. And she got pissed. Oh, was she pissed. She took off. She actually went into Eden, into the Garden of Eden, and turned into a snake for a little bit so she could have a little talk with the next creation, which, of course, was God. Grabbed the rib, right? Made Eve. Said, she'll do what you say. She's your rib. Now you're not... Well... Eve was a little happy to be created, but one day she was in the place she wasn't supposed to go, near that tree with the apples and all that, and there's a snake. And the snake comes down and says, hey, Eve, you don't have to listen to what he says. None of what he says. You're a part of me, and I am the original human being. So whenever he tries to tell you to do something, you remember, you are the default human. He is the boob. So... to close up, I would like to say to all you women out there who have had men stare at your boobs, I would like you to understand, they're not staring at the left one. They're not staring at the right one. They're staring at the center where they came from, their home. Because, yeah, they're the lost boob. And so try not to get too mad at them when they're trying to find their way home. And thank you for letting us have this time. Daisy, would you like to say anything?
I think you're very lovely.
I think you're very... All right, so this is an amazing time for us. We really love the template. We love all of you. You're beautiful people, and we just want to share one last song as we go off, and it's again Luna Days, and it's Grassroot Goddess.
And also follow us at Amazing Art of Healing Community Center.
Yeah, come see us at the Amazing Art of Healing, and you can also see us on Tuesdays and Fridays at the Quantum Activation Center, 3679 Voltaire, 5:30. Get activated. Get activated.